To fight for your dream, the first step is to define it. This isn't a trivial task, it's the cornerstone of everything that follows. A dream, in its truest sense, is not just a passing fancy or a shallow desire. It's the manifestation of your deepest yearnings, an ideal that speaks to the very core of who you are. Yet, how many of us take the time to pause and truly ask ourselves, what do I want? What do I stand for? What am I willing to suffer for? Because make no mistake, your dream will demand suffering. Anything worth having does. To define your dream, you must first silence the noise of the world. The distractions, the expectations, the judgments of others, these things are like static drowning out the voice of your own soul. You must have the courage to step back and listen. Not to what the world tells you to want, but to what you want. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow, wrote Nietzsche. Your dream is your why. It is the fire that will burn within you when the nights grow long and the obstacles seem insurmountable. But don't confuse defining your dream with fantasizing about an easy life. A true dream is not about comfort or luxury. It is about meaning. It is about contributing something that matters, something that outlasts you. The pursuit of a dream is not an escape from struggle, it is an embrace of it. You are not chasing an illusion of perfection, you are building a life that is worth the inevitable pain and sacrifice. What would you willingly endure hardship for? That's your dream. Many people shy away from this kind of introspection because it's terrifying. What if I choose wrong? What if my dream is too big, too foolish? But let me ask you this, what's the alternative? To wander aimlessly through life, chasing after fleeting pleasures or living someone else's idea of success? That's not living, that's merely existing. To live without a dream is to drift without purpose, and a life without purpose is a tragedy waiting to unfold. Clarity is power. When you know your dream, you know your destination. And when you know your destination, every decision becomes easier. Opportunities will no longer be a source of confusion. They will either align with your dream or they won't. You will no longer be paralyzed by indecision because you'll have a framework, a North Star guiding you. Your dream will filter out the unnecessary distractions and focus your energy on what truly matters. But defining your dream is only the beginning. Once you've identified it, you must ignite it with purpose. Purpose is what transforms a mere wish into a burning desire. It is what connects your dream to something larger than yourself. Think about it. Why do you want what you want? How will achieving it serve not only you, but also others? A dream fueled by selfish ambition will falter at the first sign of adversity. A dream anchored in purpose, however, becomes unstoppable. To connect your dream with purpose, consider the people who will benefit from your success. Maybe it's your family, your community, or even future generations. Maybe it's a cause you believe in or a legacy you want to leave behind. When your dream becomes a mission to make the world a little better, a little brighter, you'll find reserves of strength you never knew you had. Purpose gives you the endurance to keep going when the odds are stacked against you. As you define your dream, remember that it doesn't have to be grand in the eyes of others. What matters is that it's grand to you. Maybe your dream is to write a book, to open a small cafe, or to be the best parent you can be. These things might seem modest on the surface, but if they light a fire in your heart, they are anything but small. Greatness is not about scale, it's about depth. It's about the intensity of your commitment and the integrity of your effort. Don't be afraid to dream big, though. Too often people limit themselves because they fear failure or judgment. But think about this, the worst failure is not trying at all. If you aim high and fall short, you'll still achieve more than if you aim low and succeed. As Les Brown famously said, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars, and besides, the pursuit of a dream is not about the destination, it's about who you become in the process. Defining your dream also requires you to confront your fears. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. These fears are the chains that keep you stuck, but they are also the keys to your liberation. Every fear you face diminishes its power over you, and when you step into the arena bruised and battered but unbroken, you will realize that courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in the face of it. As you take the time to define your dream, be patient with yourself. It's not something you can rush or force. Reflect, explore, and allow yourself to evolve. Your dream today might not be the same as your dream a decade from now, and that's okay. Life is a journey of growth, and your dreams will grow with you. The important thing is to stay true to yourself and to keep moving forward. Finally, remember that your dream is not just for you, it is a gift to the world. When you live authentically, when you pursue your passions with all your heart, you inspire others to do the same. You give them permission to dream their own dreams. And in this way, your dream becomes a beacon of hope, a reminder that it is never too late to fight for what matters. So define your dream. Make it clear, make it personal, make it meaningful. Let it be the reason you rise each morning and the last thought before you sleep. Let it be your guide, your fuel, your refuge in the storms of life. And when doubt creeps in, as it inevitably will, remind yourself this is your dream. No one else can fight for it, and no one else can take it away. Fear is a fundamental part of the human experience. It whispers in your ear when you contemplate something bold, something that matters. It builds walls where there should be bridges and keeps you small when you're capable of so much more. Fear is insidious because it masquerades as wisdom. It tells you to play it safe, to avoid risks, to stay where it's comfortable. But what kind of life is that? A life lived in fear is a life half lived. If you want to fight for your dream, you must overcome fear and embrace the challenges that stand in your way. That is where growth lives, in the confrontation of what terrifies you. What is fear really? It's the anticipation of pain, the dread of failure, the worry of humiliation. But here's the truth: most of what you fear will never come to pass. Fear is often a phantom, a shadow cast by your own doubts and insecurities. And even when your fears are realized, they are rarely as devastating as you imagine. The human spirit is remarkably resilient. You are stronger than you think, but you will never discover that strength if you allow fear to dictate your actions. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear, said Mark Twain. To overcome fear is not to banish it, but to act despite it. Courage is not a lack of fear, but a refusal to let it paralyze you. When you feel the fear rising within you, don't shrink away. Face it head on. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? What's the worst that could happen? And if that worst case scenario came true, could I survive it? Most of the time, the answer is yes. You would survive and you would grow. Challenges are the crucible in which strength is forged. Without them, you would remain stagnant, untested, and unfulfilled. Think of a seed buried in the ground. To grow into a mighty tree, it must push through the dark soil, break through the surface, and face the harsh elements above. It is the resistance it encounters that allows it to grow. You are no different. The challenges you face are not obstacles to your dream. They are the path to it. They shape you, refine you, and prepare you for what lies ahead. Many people fear challenges because they equate them with failure. But failure is not the enemy. Failure is a teacher. It is a mirror that reflects your weaknesses, your blind spots, and your opportunities for improvement. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work, said Thomas Edison. Failure is not the end of the road. It is a step along the way. It is evidence that you are trying, learning, and growing. Every failure brings you closer to success, provided you are willing to learn from it. Fear of failure often stems from a desire for perfection. You tell yourself that if you can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. But perfection is a myth, an impossible standard that keeps you from taking the first step. Life is messy and progress is rarely linear. You will stumble, you will fall, and you will make mistakes. But each misstep is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to try again. Perfection is not the goal, progress is. Fear also thrives on uncertainty. It tells you that if you don't know exactly how things will unfold, you shouldn't even begin. But here's the truth: life is uncertain. You cannot predict the future, and you don't need to. What you need is faith, faith, faith in yourself, faith in your dream, and faith that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step, said Martin Luther King Jr. Trust that you will figure it out as you go. Trust that you have what it takes to face whatever comes your way. When you embrace challenges, you discover something remarkable: they are not as formidable as they seemed. The anticipation of difficulty is often worse than the difficulty itself. Once you step into the arena, you realize that you are capable of more than you imagined. The struggle becomes a source of pride, a testament to your resilience. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more determined. Fear and challenges have a way of revealing who you truly are. When you confront them, you strip away the illusions and discover your authentic self. You learn what you're made of, what you're willing to fight for, and what you're capable of enduring. You learn that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by your response to them. You learn that you are not a victim of fear or a prisoner of your doubts. You are the master of your own destiny. The irony is that the things we fear most are often the things we need most. Fear is a signpost pointing you toward the areas where you need to grow. If something scares you, it's probably worth doing. It's probably the very thing that will expand your horizons and bring you closer to your dream. Don't let fear be a barrier, let it be a guide. When you embrace challenges, you also inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon of hope for those who are still trapped in their fears. Your willingness to face adversity shows others that it's possible to rise above their circumstances. You become a living example of what it means to fight for a dream, to persevere in the face of hardship, and to triumph over fear. So when fear whispers in your ear, listen but don't obey. When challenges rise before you, face them not because they are easy, but because they are necessary. The road to your dream will not be smooth or straight, but it will be worth it. Every fear you conquer, every challenge you overcome, is a step closer to the life you were meant to live. Remember, fear is temporary, but regret is eternal. Don't let the fear of the unknown hold you back from the life you deserve. Don't let the fear of failure rob you of the chance to succeed. And don't let the fear of challenges keep you from discovering your true potential. Fight for your dream with all your heart, knowing that every struggle brings you closer to the person you are meant to become.
To achieve your dream, it's not enough to simply desire it. Desire is fleeting, it comes and goes with the tides of emotion. What truly matters is action. Action is what turns a vision into reality, an idea into existence. But even action is not enough if it's sporadic, half-hearted, or aimless. What you need is commitment to consistent action, a relentless pursuit of progress, no matter how small or slow it might seem. It's in the daily grind, the unglamorous repetition, where greatness is forged. Success is not one grand gesture, it's 1,000 small steps taken with purpose and discipline. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they act. They think that they need to feel inspired or ready before they take the first step. But here's the harsh truth: if you wait for motivation, you'll wait forever. Motivation is unreliable, fickle, and fleeting. Discipline, however, is unwavering. Discipline doesn't care if you feel like working today or if you'd rather procrastinate. Discipline gets up, shows up, and does the work, regardless of mood or circumstances. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, as James Clear said. Your systems are the habits you cultivate and the consistency with which you execute them. Dreams require effort, and effort demands consistency. It's not enough to work hard one day and rest the next, nor to push forward in bursts of enthusiasm only to burn out. Progress requires a steady, sustained effort over time. Think of it like building a wall. Every day you lay one brick. It might not seem like much in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, those bricks become a fortress. Success is a game of accumulation, and consistency is the secret weapon. But consistency is hard. It's unglamorous, repetitive, and often thankless. There will be days when the work feels monotonous, when the results are invisible, and when the effort seems pointless. On those days, you'll be tempted to quit or to cut corners. That's when you must remind yourself why you started. Remember your dream and the life you're working to build. Remember that every action you take, no matter how small, is a step forward. Consistency doesn't mean perfection, it means persistence. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to keep going. Small actions done consistently have a compounding effect. This is the magic of consistency. It magnifies your efforts over time. Imagine planting a seed and watering it every day. At first, you see nothing. The soil looks the same as it did yesterday and the day before that. But beneath the surface, the seed is germinating, roots are forming, and growth is happening, even if you can't see it. Then, one day, a sprout breaks through the ground, and what seemed invisible becomes undeniable. Your dream is no different. The results may not be immediate, but they are inevitable if you stay the course. Consistency also builds momentum, and momentum is a powerful force. When you take consistent action, you create a rhythm, a flow that makes progress feel natural. Starting is always the hardest part, but once you've started, the effort becomes easier to sustain. Momentum turns effort into habit, and habit into second nature. It's no longer a question of whether you'll work toward your dream, it's simply what you do day in and day out. Another truth about consistency is that it builds confidence. Every time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you reinforce your belief in your own capabilities. You prove to yourself that you can be trusted to show up, even when it's hard. Confidence is not built through grand successes, it's built through consistent effort. It's in the quiet victories, the daily disciplines, that you lay the foundation for unshakable self-belief. But let's not pretend this is easy. Consistency demands sacrifice. It means saying no to distractions, resisting the lure of instant gratification, and prioritizing your dream over temporary comfort. It means choosing the hard road over the easy one again and again. There will be times when the sacrifices feel overwhelming, when the effort feels endless, and when the reward feels out of reach. In those moments, remind yourself of this: every sacrifice you make today is an investment in the life you want tomorrow. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Discipline also requires clarity. You must know what actions matter most and focus on them. Not every effort is equal, and not every task will move you closer to your dream. The key is to identify the high-value actions, the ones that create the most impact, and prioritize them. Don't confuse busyness with productivity. Working hard is meaningless if you're working on the wrong things. Focus on what matters and let the rest fall away. Your dream demands not only consistency in effort, but also consistency in mindset. You must guard your thoughts because your thoughts shape your actions. If you let doubt, fear, or negativity take root, they will erode your resolve. Stay focused on the possibilities, not the obstacles. Stay focused on your progress, not your setbacks. Feed your mind with encouragement, inspiration, and belief, because what you feed grows. A positive mindset is not a luxury, it's a necessity. There will be moments when the journey feels lonely, when you wonder if anyone notices or cares about the effort you're putting in, but your dream is not for them, it's for you. The validation you seek must come from within. Success is not about applause or recognition, it's about fulfillment. It's about knowing that you gave everything you had to something that matters. Let that be enough. And when you stumble, and you will stumble, remember that consistency is not about never failing. It's about getting back up every time you fall. Failure is not the opposite of progress, it's part of it. Every misstep is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to grow. Consistency means refusing to let setbacks define you. It means showing up even when you don't feel like it, and trusting that the effort will pay off. Your dream is worth the effort. It's worth the discipline, the sacrifice, and the struggle. Because in the end, the reward is not just the achievement of your dream, it's the person you become in the process. You become someone who can be counted on, someone who keeps their promises, someone who does what needs to be done, no matter what. You become someone who is strong, resilient, and unstoppable. So commit to action and stay consistent. Lay one brick every day, no matter how tired you are, no matter how far you still have to go. Trust the process, even when the results are invisible. Believe in the power of small actions repeated over time. And when the road gets tough, as it inevitably will, remind yourself of this success is not about extraordinary talent or luck. It's about ordinary people doing ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. Be one of those people. Fight for your dream one day at a time and let nothing stop you. Your dream, no matter how personal it may seem, is never just about you. At first glance, it feels deeply individual, a reflection of your desires, your passions, and your unique vision for the future. But as you pursue it, as you pour your heart and soul into it, you begin to realize something profound. Your dream has the power to inspire others. It can ripple outward, touching lives in ways you never anticipated. It becomes a beacon, not only guiding you, but lighting the way for those who dare to dream themselves. In this way, your dream transcends your own life. It becomes a gift to the world, a legacy that outlives you. Every human being longs for inspiration. In a world filled with doubt, cynicism, and uncertainty, we look for stories that remind us of what's possible. And when you fight for your dream, when you work tirelessly, overcome obstacles, and refuse to give up, you become that story. You become the proof that greatness can be achieved, that challenges can be overcome, and that hope is never misplaced. People may not say it, but they are watching. They are watching to see if you'll succeed, if you'll persevere, if you'll keep going when the odds are stacked against you. And when you do, you give them permission to believe in their own potential. It's not the grand speeches or declarations that inspire people most, it's action. It's the quiet determination, the unwavering commitment, and the willingness to keep moving forward when the path is uncertain. Your effort speaks louder than your words. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." When you fight for your dream, you show others that it can be done not through empty promises, but through visible, undeniable proof. You become a living testament to what is possible when courage meets persistence. Think about the people who inspire you. Chances are they didn't live perfect lives. They faced adversity, made mistakes, and experienced failure, but they kept going. Their greatness wasn't in their perfection, but in their perseverance. The same will be true for you. Your story doesn't have to be flawless to inspire others. It simply has to be real. Authenticity is what resonates with people. They don't need you to be invincible. They need you to be courageous. They need to see that you're willing to fight for something that matters, despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the setbacks. Your dream also has the power to create a ripple effect. When you chase it with passion and determination, you influence those around you, your family, your friends, your community. Your courage gives them courage. Your persistence gives them hope. Your success opens their minds to new possibilities. You may never fully know the impact you have on others, but it is there quietly shaping their beliefs and actions. As Mother Teresa said, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Your dream is that stone, and its ripples are endless. But to inspire others, you must first inspire yourself. You must believe in your dream with such conviction that it becomes contagious. This doesn't mean you'll never doubt yourself. Doubt is inevitable. But belief isn't the absence of doubt, it's the willingness to move forward despite it. When you hold on to your dream with unwavering faith, you create an energy that others can feel. They may not understand your vision, but they'll sense your passion, your drive, and your purpose, and that is what will move them. As you fight for your dream, you'll discover that the impact you make is not just in achieving it, but in the journey itself. The way you face challenges, the way you rise after falling, the way you handle success with humility and failure with grace, all of these things matter. People are inspired by your process, not just your results. They are inspired by your humanity, by the way you keep going even when it's hard. Your journey becomes a map, a guide for others who are navigating their own challenges. It shows them that they too can persevere. Your dream is also an opportunity to give back. As you grow, as you learn, as you succeed, you gain insights and experiences that can benefit others. Sharing your journey, your struggles, your lessons, your victories becomes a way to lift others up. It's not about boasting or seeking validation. It's about using your story to empower those who are still finding their way. We rise by lifting others, said Robert Ingersoll. And it's true, the more you share your light, the brighter the world becomes. At its core, your dream is about contribution. It's about using your unique gifts and talents to make a difference, no matter how small. It's not about changing the entire world, it's about changing your corner of it. And when enough people do that, the collective impact is extraordinary. You don't have to be a celebrity, a billionaire, or a genius to leave a legacy. You just have to care deeply about something and be willing to act on it. Leaving a legacy doesn't mean your name will be remembered for centuries. It means your actions will echo in the lives of others. It means that the world is a little better because you dared to fight for something that mattered. Whether it's raising a child who feels loved, creating art that moves people, or starting a business that solves a problem your dream has value, it matters. And the effort you put into it will ripple outward, touching lives in ways you may never see. The beauty of fighting for your dream is that it transforms you in the process. It forces you to grow, to stretch, to become more than you thought you could be. And as you evolve, you become a source of inspiration, not because you're perfect, but because you're willing to do the hard work of becoming. People don't need role models who have it all figured out. They need role models who are willing to figure it out one step at a time. They need to see that imperfection is not a barrier to greatness, but a part of the journey. So fight for your dream, not just for yourself, but for the countless lives you'll touch along the way. Fight for it with everything you have, knowing that your effort matters, that your journey matters, that your legacy matters. And when the road gets tough, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, remember this: your dream is not just about reaching the finish line. It's about the lives you inspire, the hope you ignite, and the difference you make. In fighting for your dream, you create a story worth telling, a legacy worth leaving, and a life worth living.